Yo, welcome back to the show. It's your boy Mo. Florida's deadliest family.
Documents show Abdul Robinson Jr. is behind bars. He's charged with second-degree murder in the 2020 shooting death of Charles McCormick Jr., according to these police records. His father and brother, who police say are a part of an organization called ATK, also face charges related to McCormick's death.
Jacksonville Beach police are closing in on a shooting suspect by following his trail on social media.
We've uncovered a Twitter account for Malik Robinson. The 18-year-old police say shot a 16-year-old in the leg near the Seawalk Pavilion. This happened March 15th. That teen, by the way, is still recovering.
When a boy is growing up, the first person he typically looks to as a role model is his father. He's gonna want to do the same thing and follow in his footsteps. With that in mind, we get to the subject of today's video. Today's video highlights a notorious gangster that terrorized the streets of Jacksonville and would go on to have kids that grew up and did the same things as him. Rather than pushing his kids away from the street life, he would join them in their activities. The subject of today's video is none other than the Robinson family, and today we're going to be telling their story. Jacksonville is the largest city in Florida and has a population of over 900,000 people, but it also has its dark side. Jacksonville is currently averaging over 100 murders per year, and the Robinson family is allegedly part of the reason why. Multiple members of the Robinson family are members of both the gangs ATK and NHG, standing for No Hospital Gang. ATK and NHG are two of the most well-known gangs in Jacksonville, and they are involved in a deadly war with multiple sets across the city, such as 6 Block, made famous by the rapper Fulio, and YNR, made famous by the rapper YNR Mookie. The members of the Robinson family all have violent criminal histories, starting with the father.
Wiley is known as one of the most violent drug dealers in the city of Jacksonville, along with a partner of his known as Blue.
When discussing a family, there's no better place to start than with the matriarch. The head of the Robinson family is none other than a man named Abdul Robinson,
Snitch, free Queso,
better known by his nickname Blue. Blue is a notorious gangster and former drug dealer that was known for terrorizing the streets of Jacksonville during the 90s. In the 90s, Blue was charged with murder on 3 different occasions, but he beat the case all 3 times. Him and his partner, another notorious Jacksonville killer by the name of Smiley, operated trap houses across the whole city and ran a large-scale drug operation. Their drug operation was so big that they even had corrupt police officers under their wing. One of the police officers that Blue had under his wing was an officer named Eric Sinclair. Eric Sinclair would provide Blue and his crew information about police investigations and would warn them whenever the narcotics unit was planning on conducting a search on any of the trap houses that Blue controlled throughout the city. After getting locked up, Blue would go on to snitch on Eric Sinclair, and he confessed that Eric had been secretly assisting him in running his drug operation. Eric would eventually be sentenced to 17 years in prison for his crimes and blasted everywhere as a disgraced officer. Blue was originally sentenced to 21 years in prison for drug charges, but due to his snitching, his sentence was reduced and he didn't have to serve the full 21 years. After being released, Blue would be brought right back to the street life. On January 16, 2019, one of Blue's sons by the name Willie Addison, nicknamed Boss Goon, was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting after leaving a club late at night. Blue was in the car with Boss Goon when he got killed and was shot as well, but he had minor injuries. Another one of Blue's children by the name of Abdul Robinson Jr., nicknamed Crazy K, was shot in the head as well in this incident, but survived his injuries. Just 2 weeks later, on January 31st, 2019, members of ATK would allegedly attempt retaliation. On that day, a shootout ensued on the road between a car full of ATK members and another car filled with their rivals. During the shootout, an innocent man riding his bicycle named Damon Rothermel was struck by a stray bullet and tragically lost his life. Multiple ATK members are charged with his murder, and Blue was charged with accessory to first-degree murder after the fact for assisting those responsible in covering up their crime.
Queso.
The devil talking to me, he like son, go catch a body. The devil talking to me, he like son, go catch a body.
The most famous and well-known member of the Robinson family is none other than Hakeem Robinson, also known as the rapper Ksoo. Ksoo is a member of both ATK and NHG and is widely known for his reputation as a ruthless killer. His close associates also refer to him as Queso because he's allegedly known to shoot his victims in the face. Queso is currently in jail fighting 2 different first-degree murder charges. The murder most closely linked to Queso is the death of a rival 6 Block member by the name of Bibby. On February 25, 2019, Queso and another known Jacksonville shooter named Scotty were allegedly lurking the territory of the rival gang that they were beefing with. As I mentioned earlier, ATK's biggest enemy is 6 Block, and the Hilltop Village apartments are known to be a place where many of them reside. Queso and Scotty were in the parking lot of the Hilltop apartments when they spotted 2 6 Block members named Bibby and Pop Out. Queso and Scotty allegedly hopped out of the vehicle carrying firearms. Scotty had a long AR rifle and Queso had an AR pistol. They both allegedly opened fire, and Pop Out and Bibby ran in opposite directions. Scotty allegedly chased after Pop Out but was unable to successfully kill him as he was able to escape. Meanwhile, Queso allegedly chased down Bibby until he fell down to the ground. Queso allegedly then walked up to Bibby and shot him in the back of the head, leaving him dead at the scene. Bibby was only 16 years old at the time of his death. Queso confessed to this murder on social media and in his music numerous times.
He was 16, I took his soul right up out the streets. He was 16, I took his soul right up out the streets.
Damn, bro.
Another well-known member of the Robinson
Free Queso, but
is Malik Robinson, also known as the rapper Foul Out Sosa. Sosa actually isn't one of Blue's sons, but he shares the same mother as Queso. In his music, Queso refers to Sosa as being a shooter and
if they free Queso, Fulio is on that. He putting that bag on your head, buddy.
Sosa was charged with attempted murder for shooting someone in broad daylight and going on the run. On March 15, 2015, Sosa got into an altercation with a rival gang member by the name of Twin K. While at the Seawalk Pavilion in Jacksonville Beach, during the altercation, Sosa pulled out a gun and shot Twin K in the leg. The crazy thing about it is that he shot him in broad daylight in a super crowded area. Twin K was taken to the hospital where he was treated and survived his injuries. Following the shooting, Sosa went on the run. Witnesses identified Sosa as the shooter, so the police were on his trail. While on the run, Sosa was still active on Twitter and the police were monitoring all of his tweets. He even attempted to throw the police off his trail by tweeting that he was hiding out in Mexico. After a little under 2 months on the run, Sosa would eventually be arrested during a routine traffic stop. He was a passenger in the car and the police officers recognized him. Sosa would go on to serve 5 years in prison for the shooting and is currently free.
Was it worth
Blue has another son as well, and this one is named after him. His name is Abdul Robinson Jr., and he goes by the nickname Crazy K. To no surprise, he is also charged with murder. Crazy K is Queso's older brother and has a reputation of being a shooter as well. Following the murder we're about to discuss, Crazy K went on the run to Atlanta, where the police eventually tracked him down. Eventually, the Robinsons would allegedly do a drill together as a family. On January 15, 2020, a Jacksonville police officer observed an unknown suspect at 7001 Mural Road standing over and shooting a male victim, later identified as 6 Block member Little Buck. Little Buck died as a result of the gunshot wounds that he sustained. Multiple witnesses were located at the scene, and they saw the suspect who shot Buck get into a gray Nissan Altima, which then sped away from the shopping plaza. The police officer pursued the vehicle, and a high-speed chase ensued. Eventually, the Nissan crashed in a residential neighborhood, and the 3 suspects exited the vehicle and fled on foot. One suspect carrying a rifle fled west, and the other 2 suspects fled east. The officer tried to chase down the suspect carrying the rifle
unathletic. Y'all barely hopped them fences
west, but was unsuccessful and he got away. A woman by the name of Barbara Buckley was inside her house. When she opened the door, she noticed 2 of the suspects in her bedroom. She tried to get them to leave, but one of the suspects named Dominique Barner began to choke her with both hands. She was able to fight back and get him off of her, but they then made her sit on the couch. The suspects then took Barbara's husband's clothes and changed, then took her phone and called for a ride. The person that they called to pick them up from the crime scene was Blue. Blue arrived shortly after and drove them away. Both Queso and Crazy K are currently charged with the murder of Little Buck, but the exact role each person allegedly played in the murder hasn't been confirmed yet, as the trial has not yet happened. Blue was also charged with accessory to murder after the fact for picking up the suspects from the scene of the crime. In recent months, this case has gone viral as it was revealed that Blue agreed to testify against both of his sons for this crime. In fact, an interrogation footage video was leaked that showed Blue snitching on his son Queso and identifying him as the shooter in this incident.
Now, as part of the discovery in this case, you've had an opportunity with your attorney to watch what I'll refer to as a dash cam video, a video that actually recorded the murder of Charles McCormick. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've watched that?
Yes, sir.
Did you recognize the shooter?
Yes, sir.
Who was the shooter in that video?
Hakeem Rose.
Oh, you're not my dad no more, my nigga. Absolutely not. You're not my dad. Bro, the second I catch you, dad, I'm throwing haymakers. No hesitation. Yes, sir. No hesitation. Why, though? I'm confused.
Currently, all of them except Sosa are locked up and facing murder charges. It's crazy to see the street life get passed down from one generation to the next in real time. And it's even crazier to see a father that raised gangsters snitch on his own children.
Shoot the like button.